Hello everyone, and welcome back to the fifth and final week of Smaugust 2023. I know, we're already on the final week of August. Actually, by the time this video comes out, we're probably, only have a day or two left in the month. It's crazy how time flies. Of course, this being the ending of my first ever Smaugust challenge, I have a few concluding thoughts about the month and how it went, but in the interest of time and showing you all the last of the designs of Smaugust as soon as possible, I'll be saving those thoughts for the end of the video. For now, please enjoy the final 5 dragon drawings of Smaugust 2023. Day 27 was the Stormcutter. The Stormcutter is a super cool dragon from the second movie, and it's the dragon steed of Hiccup's long-lost mother, Velka. The Stormcutter has a super unique silhouette, even when it comes to the dragons from the How to Train Your Dragon world, with 4 massive wings. Though very distinct looking, there of course isn't any great real-world reference for my version of the drawing, so this drawing was more reliant on my imagination for any biologically minded adaptations. The only real changes that I did make were within the texture and also playing down the more cartoony features like the big eyes and such. So here is Day 27, Stormcutter. Day 28 was the Deathgripper, a super bizarre looking dragon from the third movie. It looks like this horrific amalgamation of a boar and a scorpion and a bat, with the sharp tail and tusks. This abundance of possible real-world inspiration allowed me to more easily explore my version when compared to the previous day. Although with the Smaugust challenge, I've largely tried to stray away from changing the body plans of these dragons too much, I did elect for a more wyvern-like appearance for my Deathgripper drawing, with the merging of the weird scythe-like clawed forearms and the spindly red wings. For the face, I took inspiration from cattle skulls with the shape of the mouth and teeth, and I kept the spiky plate armor on the back. I'm not actually entirely sure if this armor is natural or not, as we don't get a very good prolonged look at this dragon in its unarmored state. However, I think the natural armor look maintained its crazy devilish appearance. Day 29 was the Thunderclaw, which, if I'm going to be honest, is another one of those dragons that I didn't exactly know existed until very recently. It turns out that this is the last of one of the many dragons on my list from Velka's Sanctuary in the second movie, and appearance-wise, it is very similar to the Snafflefang, only this one is primarily bipedal. Although this dragon, like many of the other background dragons, can be seen in many different colors, I decided that its blue-green-orange appearance from the end of the second film was the best one to go with, as its color palette, when compared to the dark reds and oranges and blacks of this final week of Smaugust, would make this dragon a little bit more distinct. Now for the dragon you've all been waiting for. Day 30, the Night Fury. I don't think I can say anything new about the iconic Night Fury. I mean, dragon-wise, it is the main character of the series in Toothless. When designing this dragon, apparently the team from the first film took reference from common pet animals, as humans tend to relate these features with cute and friendly characteristics. They mainly used feline features and of course took a lot of inspiration from specifically black cats. as they served to exemplify the balance in both the mysterious side of the design as well as the cute and lovable side. I didn't want to change too much about the Night Fury, as it's, of course, one of the most famous modern dragon designs for a reason. And yes, I know before you say it, Toothless is missing part of his tail, and mine has its tail all intact. I did that on purpose. I meant for it to be a completely different Night Fury. The final day for Smaugust 2023 was the Red Death. Similarly to the Bewilderbeast that was my day 17 dragon, this is an example of another absolutely massive dragon, whose scale was a challenge to represent in my relatively restrictive 1000 by 1000 palette scale. In retrospect, I actually don't know why I restricted myself to making most of these images the same size. That might be something that if I were to do this in the future, I would actually change. Anyways, at the end of the day, I decided to go the same route that I had done before, and expanding on the background to give scale to it, and I think I accomplished my goal really well. I think the mists really give the illusion of scale in the abstract shadows in the background, are reminiscent of the rocky landscape of the climax of the first film. I was a little more lenient with my final product, as more so than I usually would be, and I let it remain a little more sketchy than I otherwise would usually allow, just because it was the last one, and quite honest, I was just ready for it to be done, though it was still enjoyable. So this bookends the final drawing for week 5, as well as all of Smaugust 2023. This was my first ever month-long drawing challenge, and I'm honestly super surprised that I got all the way through it all. I definitely have all of you who watched along every week to thank for giving me the drive to finish every drawing every day. Because honestly, drawing a unique dragon every day is not an easy feat. Although yes, it was a big challenge, I loved it. And I'm super glad that I did it. And although I am glad it's over so that I can move on to other projects like PokePaint Season 3 and History of the Future, I can say that completing my first challenge has definitely opened up my mind to the possibility of doing more of these monthly challenges. Maybe I'll do another Smaugust challenge next year with a list that's more personalized to my interests, rather than being bounded to an existing series. Or maybe I'll do one of the other myriad challenges out there, like Mythical Creature May, Mermay, Kaijun, Upoctober, Dino-cember, or D&D-cember. Or I might even do a completely unique challenge of my own. I've been bouncing this idea around in my head that I call the Realistic 151, where I redraw the original 151 Pokemon with more biologically inspired designs, similarly to what I did this month, but with more emphasis towards the redesign. Either way, I definitely won't be tackling any of these challenges for a little while, as the next few months I'm going to be focused on coming back to form with the aforementioned PokePaint and History of the Future. Thank you all so much for watching to the end. I'll see you all in a few days for the second episode of PokePaint Season 3, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and if you want to see more like it, then subscribe, and turn on the bell to get notified when I upload next.